Hello there guys, so today I'm back with another deck profile and I'm bringing you one of my absolute favorite decks, Blackwings, which I've played for years now. I didn't play it for the last few formats because I was not really happy with the Turbo Kalyuga, that's all we do stuff. But now we got the new synchros, we got the new support, and the deck is definitely much more enjoyable. So I'll just get right into it. At the end I will show you guys some tags which I think are considerable to play in this deck, and what I may try out in the future. So for the main deck is clean 40 cards. I try to keep it that way, just consistent wise, because Blackwings tend to usually brick a lot of times, so yes, just reduce it to the best cards. So Triple Simoon, of course, pretty self-explanatory I think. The new one, Triple Sudri, the best normal summon besides Simoon. 3 times Shamal. Oh, where is it? Kinda messed it up I think. Yes, 3 times Shamal. Shamal is extremely valuable and basically much better Oster. The thing is, it's the first level 4 monster that is able to be special summoned, which is amazing for this deck. Then to round up the level 4s, I play 2 Zephyros. The reason I play 2 and not just 1, because usually you just need 1, but I play the 2 because what happens if you open 1 in your hand? Then that's pretty shitty, so that's why I play the 2 of. Then, let me just get rid of those. Picked it up. For the level 3s, I only played 2 level 3s, which are Steam and Gale. Gale is just there in case we do not have access to Steam. I don't know, maybe we drew Steam, we had to banish Steam off Simoon, whatever, we do not have Steam available, that's why I play the Gale. And also the good thing about Gale is it helps when you brick, because usually the effect from Gale that it can bounce itself, that it can special summon multiple times a turn comes in pretty handy. Then for the 2-offs, I play 3 times the Vata, the new one. It's amazing. It's just, this card is a free Blackwing Dragon. It gets Zephyros to the graveyard. It does everything. This card is amazing. Then I play the Hand Trap one time. Yesterday at my locals, this card came in clutch when I had to go second. Yeah, I really wanted to see this every time I went second, because Blackwings struggle against interruptions, especially interruptions which remove the Blackwings from the field because you cannot special summon afterwards. So this helped a lot. And one Harmattan, usually with Vata you send one of these and the Zephyros, so if I would just play this one and I would need it and I would have to search it, then I couldn't really use Vata's effect anymore. That's why I play the Harmattan. Also Harmattan and the Sandstorm Blackwing are just free full armor master. Then for the 1-offs, 1 Orochi and 1 Vayu. You could cut Vayu. Vayu is not mandatory. I play it because I play a different route than many other players, but I will show you afterwards. And I play the 1 Orochi because I like to go into the Hot Red. A lot of people like to go into Dragoon now more than into the Hot Red, but I still like the Hot Red more. And then for the non-Blackwings, I play 2 times the Bestial Drewsworm. I would play the other one if I had it, but unfortunately I only have this one and I don't really want to pay like 30 bucks for a super rare, like for 2 copies of a super rare. You could bump these numbers up definitely. This card was good every time I had it when I had to go second, even going first. The other one is just way better, like the effect to send a monster to the graveyard, it doesn't really come up too often, it's not too important. Being able to search is amazing because this is level 6, so this and Orochi or whatever, or the new Blackwing Synchro, they can just go into the level 7 place, which are extremely good in this deck that I'm playing. So yeah, I would definitely play the other one. If I had it, I would play 2 of this one and 2 of the other one, or just 1 of this and 2 of the other ones. Then I play 1 Raider Swing. This is for Bardiche, and that I can detach a material from my Arsenal Raptor to go into Kalyuga if needed. I don't really go into Kalyuga too often. And then I play 1 Barrier Statue. This card is amazing because usually if you lose, if you weren't interrupted and you got your board set up, the main cards you lose against are Super Poly or stuff like Lava Golem. Of course you can't do anything about the Sphere Mode, but Sphere Mode is not as common as Lava Golem. And this card just stops both of them because usually they are not really wind type fusion monsters, which are good targets for Super Poly. Then for the spells, I am playing the Black Whirlwind 3 times. It's an amazing card. Now more better than ever with the this deck normals 3 times if you get Simoon, so this card triggers 3 times. It's amazing. 2 times the new Black Feather Whirlwind. I love this card. It's amazing, and I'm planning something which I'm going to tell you at the end. And I think this card is a lot. It's the only reason why it's viable and why it's why this new strat is allowed. So this card is just bonkers. It's absolutely amazing. Then for draw and searches, oops, I play 2 small wheels. I only play 2 small wheels because usually when you have a dead hand, the reason is having too many small wheels. So I cut down the small wheels, which helped me amazing. My boy Kenny Gaming from my locals would disagree and already called me names because I only play 2, but 2 was great. Then I also play 2 wing, whatever it's called. It's amazing. It can pretty much draw you 2 cards every time. It got ashed unfortunately yesterday, but apart from that, the card is amazing and it can draw, it can make your dead hands good again. All you need is 2 Blackwings. Then triple allure. I value allure much more right now since I can also use the bestial cards to draw cards, and also usually with allure you are able to draw into your other draw spells. I play allure only at 3 because it's not once per turn. You could play pot. I also have pots, but I don't really like pots because banishing from your extra deck really hurts this deck. Then for the one-offs, 1 Cold by and 1 Kalyuga rank up. And for the traps, 1 Twin Shadow and 1 Fogblade. The Fogblade is necessary because usually, like what I like to do is I like to lock them into wins. And the problem is, if they have Dark Ruler, I'm pretty much doomed. So what I'm doing is I'm sending the Raider's Wing with the, what's it called, with the Rusty. The Rusty sets me this one. And then during the opponent's turn, like of course you can still use the Raider's Wing to go into into the extra deck, which is amazing. And then in your opponent's turn you can either use the Fogblade as an interruption, or if they play Dark Ruler, you can activate the Fogblade on any monster you control which does not have a relative effect like Rusty. You can just Fogblade your own Rusty. And then with the Hot Red, that's why I like him more, you can negate the Dark Ruler. Also, this one is an extremely good out against your own barrier statue. Like if you cannot out your own barrier statue, you can just negate its effect and you are not locked anymore, so in your own turn. It's amazing. And this card just doesn't need explanation, I think. Extra deck. 1 Assault Dragon, 1, where is it? 1 Full Armor Master for the 10s. Then for the 9 I play the Hot Red. Blackwing Dragon is free in this deck, so why not just use Orochi and go for the Hot Red. Then of course the Blackwing Dragon. Then these 2 are optional and I'm probably gonna cut those, the Silverwind and the Scarlet. Silverwind is only, like these 2 are only good going second, but this deck struggles going second, so I sacrifice 2 extra deck slots for these 2. They don't come too often up, like this one comes up in time, but I mean you have nothing, so you don't really need something in time. And this one pops 2, but does not come too often as well. I mainly use it to protect full armor master from this from battle destruction. Then for the 7-offs, these two, you can play the Raikiri and Joe. You can play Chidori, but you don't really need the attack from Chidori. Popping is much better. And then, oh, I forgot one, sorry. This one for the 8s as well. I play this one over the Savage Dragon because I don't really like Savage Dragon right now. I mean, I like him, he's an amazing card, but he does not destroy. So against tier elements, this card is much better because negating Merely pretty much does nothing if they have an extension. But if you like banish one of their tier elements when it activates the effect, then they are doomed and they need much more resources. So for the 6-offs, we play one Nothung and one Barrier Stone. This card is insane. This is amazing, and Nothung is just doing Nothung stuff. And then for the non-synchros, pretty much engine just for the links, one Wistrix, one Bardiche. And for the XCs, only one Arsenal Falcon for the Barrier statue and the Kali Yuga in case you need to do this. This one came up yesterday. Unfortunately, my opponent didn't answer, but what I figured out yesterday the hard way is this deck struggles against Mystic Mine. Like I had the full combo board, I had everything. My opponent basically couldn't do shit, and then he was playing Runic Mystic Mine, I think. And Kali Yuga outs Mystic Mine because Kali Yuga doesn't need to activate its effect. So he just enters the battlefield and all cards are negated, which also negates the mine. And then you can just quick effect destroy the mine. So this one outs it. Unfortunately, he had 5 cards in hands and he had the negation for the hot red to so I couldn't negate stuff anymore, and then he also had the, I don't know what's it called anymore, the freezing or something like this, which destroyed my Arsenal Falcon when I changed my rank up spell. So yeah, that was it, but nothing much I could do there. Then for the extra deck, I think I will change this up a bit. I'm not really happy with this right now. I'm happy with 3 Ashes though. They came in a good of times. Against Branded it's amazing, and people don't really expect Ash anymore right now. 2 Crows for tier elements. I would swap those out for the Bestial Magnum Hood or whatever it's called, like. But I would just play it main probably. 3 Dark Ruler, like I said, Blackwing struggles to break boards. Dark Ruler allows you to break boards. And then 2 Cyclones for Mine, for Floodgates, for Runic Fountain, stuff like this. You could play 3 definitely. And then I play 3 Evenlies. I think Evenly is necessary. There's no reason not to play Evenly. And I'm not really sure about these 2, but these are on the side deck as well. It's a Muddy Mud Dragon and the Dark Dragoon. Usually when I go first, when I know I'm going first after siding, I will side out the Silverwind and the Scarlet to side those 2 in. Because this deck really struggles against hand traps and disruption. Like Nibiru destroys you. And the problem is you do not have a single Nibiru out in the deck. I mean, there is not really a good out for Nibiru in Blackwings. You could opt to play stuff like Prohibition, like my boy Kanek does, but I don't really like that. I recommended him to play Sprites, which he did. He now plays 3 Sprite Red in his main deck, but the Sprites are something I wanted to discuss with you. So the first good engine that I would say is worth thinking about is the Spright engine. You can play this a number of different ways. How I like to play it is, I don't have them right here. Let's just say 3 blues, and so these are blues now. 3 blues, 1 jet, 1 Gin Buster, and 1 smashes. This is the entire engine. This gives you nip proof, but not every time. So let me explain. If you have your normal combo, which I mean is starting with Simoon. So every time you start with Simoon and go for your normal combo, the summon of Gin Buster will be the 6th summon, which is unfortunate. Because 1 is Simoon, 2nd is, what's it called? Su3, in my head, is Su3, and the 3rd one is Vata. The 4th is blue and the 5th is jet. And after this one you can get nipped, which could happen a number of times because your opponent doesn't really know what he's playing against at this point. He just sees 3 Blackwings and 2 Sprites, so he will most likely nip you. You could also, depending on the hand, just before you special summon out the jet, use the Vata and the blue and go for Djinn Buster. Then you have your negate already out and then special out the jet. But what a lot of people do, or a lot of people, just one person, like I recommended this to another Blackwing player at our locals, who is Kenna Gaming, if you know him. I recommended him the sprites to him and he was like, nah, and then I showed it him and I even told him about Spright Red. So now he mains 3 reds because he doesn't have blue as well. And red is the nip out by itself. So I would still recommend playing the blue and then maybe 1 red, because why not just take the blue? It's free small world target. So you special out the blue, special out the red as the 5th summon, so now you are nip proof. And the only disadvantage that this one has is that the red will have to remain on the field until you have out until you brought out your Dragoon, because then you have your good nip out, and until then you have to keep Vice Tricks on the field. And what I also dislike about this is it's not a dark monster. If it would be a dark monster, it would be great, because after Dragoon would be out, you can just use Vice Tricks and him and just go for Bardiche, but unfortunately that's not possible, so the red will just stick there. So yeah, if you like, this is a budget nip out. If you play Prohibition or something like this, just play the red instead, because it's better. And yeah, because sometimes it's also an extender for you. Like if you break, then you can special summon this out after you have like whatever 2, and then you can maybe use this as material for synchro plays. So a second tech which I thought about is Shifter. You can play under Shifter, like you can't play under Shifter yourself, but you can do your plays and then drop the Shifter, that's what I mean. Your end board is not going to be as impressive, but usually all of your stuff either special summons from the graveyard, banishes from the graveyard, adds back from the graveyard. So if you play correctly and accordingly and don't really mess up, which you can because this deck requires a lot of brain usage, I would say, if you play with Shifter, then you can make your plays, set up a decent enough board, a good enough board. Like usually before you drop Shifter, you can have Hot Red, full armor, and let's say the 10-8 as well. You can have those on the field and then drop Shifter, which is usually good enough interruption by itself. And also this deck struggles going second. Like I cannot express enough how much this deck struggles against going second. If they have 1 removal spell for one of your Blackwings and you do not have open like Simoon to have an additional normal, you are just out of the game. So Shifter helps you going second, and it's also a very good small world target, because I think it can search every Blackwing except for Simoon, because they share the level 6 typing. So yeah, the Shifter and the Spright engine are something I wanted to point out. Show you what the end board usually looks like with this deck. For the Spell and Traps, you usually have 1 of these 2 on the field. You have the Barrier Statue. I think that's it from the main deck. And from the extra deck, you can have this on the field if you want, but I usually don't do this because it's enough interruption already. But you have this on the field for sure, you have this on the field, you have this on the field, and you end up with your Bardiche and Arsenal Falcon without interruptions. So, like I said, your opponent basically cannot play through this unless he has Sphere Mode or Mine and outs, like, because this disrupts your opponent from playing Lava Golem and Super Poly. Dark Blue no more, you can just chain one of these and then negate it with this, or just make Kalyuga straight up. And for anything else, what are they gonna do? Like, yeah, this is usually the end board. If you guys want to see how you get to this end board, let me know. Oh, you can't really see the Barrier Statue. Then I'll make a video about it, but yeah, that's it. I think I've talked enough, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. Have a good one.